Adrienne, and it is the 27th of June 2019. It is a Thursday. It is 1:42 a.m. I should have been asleep hours ago. But I couldn't sleep. I tried to do a live on Facebook earlier, and it was horrible. I did like 2 or 3 tries, and they were all horrible. So I just figured whoever I couldn't read tonight, I probably wasn't supposed to read tonight. And I told him I would do the reading for Saturday Night Live. So we'll see how that goes. In the interim, I've been having so many epiphanies. I mean, just stuff going around in my mind. I mean, from just thoughts because of, I think right now, and I'm documenting it because, well, it's serious stuff, right? I've got Saturn and Pluto on my ascendant. I've got the North Node opposing my ascendant, exactly, sitting on my descendant. And, there's just a lot going on, and I just want to get out whatever thoughts or emotions or theories or discoveries or whatever this is. Sometimes I feel myself mulling over things, just like, wow, is that an epiphany of some kind about life? Because I really feel like at this point everything I can document is going to help somebody later if they read my whatever, right? So I've been trying to document everything from, if you have followed me for any length of time, I've documented everything from my engagement, my marriage, the divorce or separation, the businesses, all the different ups and downs and failures, and my daughter and her rise, her weight loss, her marriage, her career rise. I mean, all of these things have been documented on Facebook over the last 6, 7, 8, 9, I guess 10 years now. It's amazing. But it's also amazing when you think about how we change. And before I started this, I was thanking God for blessing me. I mean, I don't mean to be a vain person, but I look at myself sometimes and I'm like, who the F is that? Wow, what a glamorous sex pot that is. Or whatever, I'm evolving. So I feel like I must be going from some kind of cocoon to butterfly stage or something, coming out of my shell again, or I don't know. I feel good. I'm wearing shorts. I mean, I don't have any stockings on, so I don't want to scare anyone, but I got on shorts and just feeling all cute. And I'm thinking, what is that? What is that? So I really stopped and I thought about it, and I thought, well, Saturn is an amazing thing, and so is Pluto, really. I think their conjunction right now, over the last 6 months or so, has really made changes in a lot of people. But I can really distinctly not only feel, but I can distinctly see my changes, because I'm losing weight, or I don't even know that I'm losing it. I'm not even going to say losing anymore, because I'm not going to get it back. So I'm just going to say that I'm redefining and sculpting myself, and have more energy and more, I feel more vibrant and more sexy. I feel like I'm coming back to my old self, my, whoever that is. So, or maybe I'm creating a new self. And I think all of that, especially the creating a new self, I think that is so Pluto on the ascendant, isn't it? That whole transform, regenerate, and become something new, better, from the ashes, from the dust, from nothing. I look at what I've done and what I've not done, and I feel like at this point I'm still at nothing. I don't feel like I've done anything particularly fabulous. And so I feel like anything that I can accomplish from this point on, well, that's a bonus shot, isn't it? That's a win. And so I feel very blessed that anyone even has me in the game, and I'm like, hey, props, thank you. Every time somebody comes at me trying to be all jealous and stuff, I'm like, oh, I hate her, thank you. That's a prop at this age. Somebody all hating on you for no good reason. And most likely because they're jealous and they don't even know what they're jealous about. They don't know what I've been through. Nobody knows. Child, I got Saturn sitting on my ascendant. You don't know. You might look at me and go, look at that, light bright, think she all that, yada, 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 yada. Y'all don't know. I was just sitting here thinking about that tonight. Can you imagine? I try to block it out, I guess. But being 500 pounds and just trapped in a wheelchair or in a bed or in a recliner all day, every day, 50 Tyson. I went through that for 7 or 8 years of my life. Just vegging out, dying. Until one day I decided I didn't want to die. I wanted to live. I wanted to live and do everything I possibly could. That's why I married the guy I married. I really loved him. I didn't want to just get married to get married. I'd already been married to get married. I'd already been married before. It wasn't new to me. I thought he was something special. Sometimes we think we have a special package and we open up inside the box and it's like one of those Jack-in-the-Box and they throw like confetti in your face or something. You don't get anything. It's one of those booby trap prizes on The Price is Right. Or let's make a deal. Let's make a deal. So, that's one of those things. And I think that's part of the Saturn. That's when it all happened exactly when the North Node hit my North Node in my 7th house in Cancer, which of course is opposite Capricorn. And it would put my South Node in Capricorn at 29 degrees. Both Cancer and Capricorn at 29 degrees is a fate degree. It was fated long ago. I've had 2 really effed up marriages. So, I'm not afraid to do a marriage number 3. I just never thought I was going to be the Liz Taylor type. I really didn't think I was going to end up like that. But I can see that probably is going to be the situation because I'm just not I'm not a side piece. So I guess that's why I keep getting married. It's raised Mormon. Got some kind of values. At least I try. Right? So, and I foresee maybe that, I'm not even out of one marriage when, I'm thinking, it might not even be anything that serious, but, you ever meet someone that just makes your heart flutter? Or your toes curl? Or something like that. Yeah, that thing. So, and sometimes I actually keep it at bay because I once heard from a reader that it's not important about all of the, like, the excitement and the sexual tension and all of that we get pulled in by, right? Whatever that is, that pheromone thing, we tend to get pulled in by that. And that's how we end up in these crazy relationships that I'm not even sure we should have ever even gotten into, right? And I say we because I don't really know of anyone who hasn't done it. I don't know anyone who's only been in one or two perfect relationships. I mean, I know they exist, people like that. I just don't know them. I thought I was with someone like that. He lied and said he was that kind of person. But I think someone, in order to have a sustainable relationship, and I'm sorry, you guys, I don't know what's wrong with the hair. The hair, me, my widow's peak, like the whole thing. I don't get what's going on with any of it right now. And I'm sorry. And that's all I got to say. I can fiddle and faddle, but there's not much I can do. You know, she was discount. What can I say? I was taken in by the bride. So, anyway, so I think a lot of what I'm going through, it's all Saturn. I mean, I'm just looking at everything that happens, whether someone cheats on me, lies to me, or loves me and shows me what being in love really means. I would feel like whatever it is I get, it's because I somehow earned that. That it's part of what is due to me because of what I've endured up to now. I mean, I remember once a reader told me I was a nun. And I never thought of myself as being a nun. But after going back into like this single dating, flirting phase of life, right? Because you forget that when you're married. I mean, you almost forget to do that with your damn spouse, let alone with other people. I wasn't flirting with anyone. So if he ever says that I ever in any way did anything like that, he's a liar. Because I wasn't. I've never, even yet. It's been a year for me, and he was the last one. So, no. I've just never been that kind of woman. And some people are that way. They just, I think they just need that touch somebody else. And that's all there is to it. And, but no. I need more than that. So, I'm so adamant about that part of life, about, sexually, that I would probably end up being a spinster, I guess. And, dying alone or what. It always goes so deep and horrible and dark, right? This guy, he's determined not to let that occur. Oh well. I guess it's better than doing it alone. And he does make my toes curl. That's all I mean. For now. We'll see. Some things, you ever know, there is one thing about me and affection. I think it takes 10, well, I'll cut it down to 5. 5 good things to make up for one bad thing. Maybe 10. Maybe I was right. 10 good things to make up for one bad thing. So if you're like with a guy and you're not even really even, and there's already other people in the relationship, that don't feel right. So, but I supposedly I'm not in that situation, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not worried about it. It's like, be happy and all the bad times are over. I'm like, okay, bad times are over. All right. Bad times are over. We'll see. That would be nice because Saturn and Pluto are retrograde in Capricorn on my ascendant right now. And I feel like whatever happens, it's because, it's something you bring into your world. It's like my open mouth, insert foot. And I know it's probably me just sitting around talking about what I'm talking about right now, telling all my business. But I do want to get this out, and I don't share my life beyond what I do. And very few people actually hear or see anything I do anyway. And I'm okay with, I've learned to be okay with that living and dying in obscurity. If that's what this is all about, I don't know. I assume that's what it's about. I was born with my sun in the 12th house, but on the ascendant. And I've got my progressed sun in the 12th house right now, with Chiron sitting on it. How sad is that? And my midheaven is there. So as I make these videos, I know it's just an effort and futility. I mean, maybe someone will get it. I mean, it is Pisces. And I have Jupiter in Pisces. And I have Neptune on the midheaven. And I guess that's why I'm an astrologer. I guess that's why I have these thoughts and I say these things. So, I've thought about that. My thing is, for you people out there, how is anyone else experiencing that Saturn and Pluto on an angle, at least, if not on the first house as well? Because, mine is smack dab on my ascendant, so I'm wondering if anyone else is going through that Saturn-Pluto on the ascendant situation. But I know I came across a couple of charts the other day. For some reason, I was led to them when I was doing my readings. And they had the Saturn and Pluto conjunction up on their midheaven. I saw a couple down on the nadir and a couple on the midheaven. So I know there's some people out there with angles with the sun, not the sun, but Saturn and Pluto on the angles. Because I really think that a lot of what I've been going through is directly related to Saturn and Pluto. And then if not Saturn and Pluto, then we go, like I said, we go back to the node. The North Node. It's in Cancer. That's opposite Capricorn. That is not going to make a Capricorn. It's not. The South Node is in Capricorn. That's not what we're supposed to do. South Node is the opposite of what we're supposed to do. I almost feel like inherently people feel that. So, I remember, and I know we're not ever supposed to compare ourselves. So I won't even say what I'm going to say. I don't want to continue thinking that way, because I realize that whatever it is that's occurring, it's supposed to occur. It's supposed to happen exactly as it's happening, for one reason or another. And so I'll just, hopefully something good will happen. I'm hoping good stuff will happen. And so I unfold my hands, and so I open up myself to the universe. I open up myself to the goodness of the universe. I hope something good and wondrous and beautiful and miraculous happens. And I just also wanted to say that I've been playing around with, all of the pink crystals, having them around me. I talked about that the other day, didn't I? And I really, truly believe with all my heart that having so much pink crystal energy around me is not only opening up my heart chakra, but I really think it's making me more attractive. I don't know why, but I do. And so I've been losing weight and just feeling generally more beautiful and more Venus-like. And so, I've got these, and I've I don't know, they're like shining beacons of light that are there in my hands, in my possessions, and I tell you, I hold them close to me, and I keep looking at myself thinking, wait a minute, am I actually becoming more attractive? And I think if any of you believe that to be true, I believe it's because of these beautiful pink crystals. I got African pink crystals, and they're gorgeous. Wait a minute, was it what was it? New hypnotic gems. Oh, one bulk rose quartz rough from Madagascar. Natural raw stones and fountain rocks. So good for crystal healing. They're naturally earth mine. Wow, here's a really big one here. Sorry. I just think this is so interesting. I'm so into this, and I love the big raw rocks. I just love that. Oh, that's a big, fat, juicy one. I love that, the energy that they give off. I feel like they give off a certain energy. Look at this big, giant chunk I have here. It's not amazing? Love that. Beautiful. I mean, I had this one. I love that, but this makes this one look small in comparison. So I just love these. Oh, it feels good in this hand. Oh, very nice. And they have a good vibe, a good energy to them. Some crystals have good energy vibes when I touch them, and I'm very picky about crystals that I have in my possession. I like to make sure that I fill them out and maybe walk around with them for a few moments before I have them, and it's because I believe they send out energy, and some I think have more positive effects on us than others. I had some natural amber ones from Lithuania, and I don't know what was with that. I mean, it's something about that amber just sent me into a tizzy. It really did. And I had just like I think I got ill, and I had just a moment of bad luck, a string of bad luck. And so yeah, I've stayed away from natural amber ever since. But it's so funny. I went and I picked up these polished stones, and I put down the big ones, and I looked at myself and I thought, wow, do I actually look different now? I might be crazy, but I just picked these up, and I thought, no, it looks like I improve when I have these in my hand. So I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna walk around. Maybe I'll put one in each breast or something. Like, these are things like, always keep your natural pink quartzes around for love and beauty. Like, I don't know why I needed to share this message tonight. I think maybe it's because I have that Saturn and that Pluto on my first house, and there's a natural repellent going on for me and a lot of people. People are feeling naturally repelled by me, and I don't know what to do about that. I don't know if there's anything that can be done about that. I think I just have to live with that, ride that out, and live with that reality that I am repelling to some people. I mean, after all, that is Pluto on the ascendant, and I do have Scorpio Venus in the 10th house. Basically, it's almost like having it in Capricorn, so they're almost in mutual interception right there. It's not easy, as you see, as I'm all in black. I did not plan that. I just realized I'm the epitome of what I'm talking about. Pluto and the ascendant. And Venus, Scorpio, and 10th house. And I looked at myself. I was going to say something about black, and I looked and I'm like Johnny Cash. I even have on black shorts, you guys. Really, I kid you not. I'm totally in black. So I think that's part of it right now. Having Saturn on the ascendant or having Pluto on the ascendant, you might be feeling a little Johnny Cash-ish. You know, you got a song of sorrow to sing, maybe. Then took my love and went on down the dusty road. Or something. Y'all make on up your song. Doesn't matter, yo. Just make up a song. If you play an instrument, go ahead. Burn, 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 burn. All the men took my food. Burn, 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 burn. Don't know where his ass went. Burn, 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 burn. If I get a hold of him. Burn, 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 burn. His ass gonna be bent. Burn, 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 burn. Oh, bad to the bone. Burn, 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 burn. The nigga bad to the bone. Burn, 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 burn. Okay, stop. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't help myself. I'm sorry. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. And this is the other thing. I know that Saturn's on my ascendant, and I think that means I'm supposed to be restricting my persona in some way. Maybe I am restricting my persona in some way and don't even realize or recognize that I'm doing it. I mean, I don't know. Do I sound like, what am I doing, Lord? And that's why you should do something other than just study astrology, which I do. I actually been following some of the teachings of Eckhart Tolle and also Sadhguru. I think they're both very wise. I also like listening to Will Smith a lot. And Les Brown. I think they're good. And also Oprah. I think she's great. Where's my little girl with the curly hair? I love her. Lisa Nichols, I like her. So, yeah. Oh, and I always talk about Mark Houghton. I love Mark Houghton. I could listen to Mark Houghton all day. Because whenever I listen to him, I come back and I actually do make money. I don't know what that's about. That boy got a magic tongue. I'll listen to him, and the next day I just listen to his affirmations or whatever. I'll come back the next day, I'll make money. And also I feel like another person I really respect, Alicia Hartzell, who has Sacred Healing. I love her. No, they're from Washington. I couldn't believe it. Love her. I feel like what they do is they heal like different modalities and stuff like that, which is different things and like from your past. Like there was a healing I was involved in, and I didn't even get to finish it, and I paid for it too. But it was it's like sexual healing from sexual trauma and abuse. And I was molested. I was raped at 18 months old. And wow. I don't want to get too political. But I will say there was a meme or something going around about someone who said they weren't sure that children were affected by that. And I was 30 when I was taken aside by a psychiatrist and told that I should get into therapy, and they put me into regression therapy. That's how I figured out how old I was. I had to go check with my mother. I just always remembered the house. It's so weird, one little detail like that, but it was just the way that house was made. It had 3 stories to it. There was the regular floor, and then there was another floor that had 2 bedrooms and a bathroom, and then there was stairs that led up to a 3rd floor, because my Aunt Jeanette had a lot of kids. And when I said the house, my mom knew it right away. She's like, that was XYZ Street. I remember when it happened. That was when I was pregnant with Michael. And it was so weird. Sometimes you need that. And at least I got that clarity before my mother passed. She was able to share that clarity with me, that what I remembered almost like a horror nightmare for 30 years wasn't just a nightmare. It was a horrible reality that I had to face as a person, as a woman. And they put me into this regression therapy where I went back in, and over the course of time, I became the victor. I became the winner. I fought off my attacker. I was victorious. And that was something that was vital for me to learn, because as a young baby, being molested, it's so young when you're stunted that, yes, I grew up, I had a speech impediment. I had to go to school for that, speech therapy. And I guess I spoke kind of like baby talk for a while, because I was trapped in a very young persona. 18 months is very young, way too young to be molested. And it wasn't the first time. That was just the first horror. I remember the pain of it all my life. All my life, I lived with that pain. And when they took me to regression therapy, I got to the point where, look, I'm talking about it now. I haven't smeared my mascara. I haven't cried. I haven't, I'm not weak. I am the victor, damn it. I win, MFer. I don't know who you are, because I was too young to remember which cousin you were. But lick my crack, okay? Because you can't even touch me now. Whoever you were, you can't touch me, okay? Dog. If I was old enough to remember which one it was, I would shout them out right now. But I can't. I was too young. I just know it happened. And I know it hurt. And I never forgot it. So, children remember, even as young as 18 months, it can scar them for life. It's something that should never happen to anyone. Ever. Ever. But not a child. Never. Oh, no. I remember running from my mom's boyfriends when I used to go to visit her in the summer. Oh, gosh. It was hard. It was hard growing up being me for some reason, and I don't know what that is. I know I got Venus in the 10th house now, and I understand that. But as a child, I mean, what the hell do you know about whatever that is that, causes that? So it's been hard for me. And I do think it's probably why I became a hermit. It's just, I like a hermit. I don't have to deal with other people's ish unless they pay me. Pay me, and then I'll deal with your ish. Otherwise, I'll switch my mane and go off to my castle and do what I gotta do. I'm a busy woman. I ain't got time for your ish. I'm serious. That sounds horrible, doesn't it? But it took me a long time to get to that point too, because it took a long time to realize that some of the things we get dragged into, we're getting dragged into by other people. It's not our ish. It's their ish. They got to solve that on their own accord. And, the funny thing is, sometimes people will have a bad vibe, and they'll bring their bad vibe with them into their relationship with you, and soon you've taken on that bad vibe as well, and on it goes. It's like a never-ending story that's not, or nightmare. So it's really important for us to take control of ourselves right now. I guess I'm being led to give this message, this preaching sermon by Saturn. This message has been brought to you by the planet Saturn and Pluto, now residing in the sign of Capricorn, and both in retrograde until the fall. Please enjoy this message. It's a pretty serious message, you guys. I was trying to explain to someone the other day. Saturn only goes into a sign or a certain spot in a chart every 28 years, max. Okay? So you can't say, oh, it's so common, somebody else is going to have. No. I mean, unless they're born with their ascendant at 17 or 18 degrees right now, they're not going to be experiencing what I'm experiencing. It's not a possibility. And so there are a lot of factors involved in astrology. But if you're someone who has your ascendant, I would say anywhere from 11 degrees Capricorn to 20 degrees Capricorn, you're being, or even wider than that, because especially it's your sun. I mean, it could be as much as 20, 28, like 28 degrees Capricorn and onward. I think you're all being affected in some way, because it's all going to retrograde back toward you anyway. So from like, I mean, I wouldn't say the end, but I would say about 28 degrees to about 12, 11. You're going to be feeling that. That's a big span, right? That's a big span. And that's because Saturn and Pluto are retrograding almost to like the middle of Capricorn. I think it's going back to like 15 degrees. Like to my sun. I'm so pissed. Right? And Pluto is going to something similar to like 18, I think. But it's wow. Take heed and take stock of where Saturn is in your chart. Where is Saturn in your chart? I mean, it's telling me to be more responsible for my body. I literally cannot eat flour anymore. If I eat flour, I will die. I kid you not. Whatever disease I have, it gives me extreme muscle spasms if I have gluten, and if I have the wrong foods of any kind, or or something that reacts to my body, and it's painful. I've got to take medication for it. So this is a very serious matter, and I am shocked that this has occurred. But someone with Capricorn Sun and Rising at 17 degrees, well, the North Node's opposing it down at the descendant. It's going to be going into the 6th house. This is not going to be an easy transit. I do think for me, it's just I'm going to lose the rest of the weight that I need to lose. I just hope that once I get down to about 150 or so, that I can slow things down. I don't want to get to be a bony stick, and I don't want to waste away. So, but I can tell, I mean, I won't be able to eat gluten, and I'm not a big meat eater, you guys. I do my best. I can't eat white rice either. It has to be brown rice. No matter what I eat, it's like a diet. So, some people are like, I'm on a diet. I'm like, no, I'm on a live it. This is how I survive. I don't have any other means of survival but to live the way I live. And so, I gotta cheat, which, every once in a while I can eat some of that popcorn or potato chips, but I gotta eat them sparingly, because my body reacts to everything. And my skin tells me, like, my chin is the first place to break out, because I'm always doing this, like, Watson. And, your hands are all not always clean, so I always get breakout here. Luckily, I don't touch the rest of my face, so, go figure. Anyway, you guys, I'm in such a weird mood. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, almost 2:30. I've not done any of the real things that need to be done, and I have a lot to be done. So I'm going to go do those, and or I better get some sleep, because I got a lot to do tomorrow. Tomorrow I got Women United. So anyway, you guys, much love and light to all, and I will talk to you soon. Oh, and if you haven't, come and see me at astrologylookinsight.com. And don't forget to visit AdrienneOBHQ.com, which has all my different businesses. I'm working on fixing that website, so it'll be a lot better soon. Okay, you guys. Much love and light to all. Bye now.